A lot of people will see the stream title tonight and wonder what the hell is going on again. I've told you guys for many weeks that Paris Saint-Germain have had Mohamed Salah pretty high up on their shopping list, but only if Kylian Mbappe moves on. Now, I told you guys there was a ridiculous article from ESPN a while back suggesting that Liverpool have set a price of €80 million for Salah, which I can only imagine is nonsense of the highest order, because that wouldn't even buy Mohamed Salah's right foot, let alone his left foot and the rest of his brilliant body. But look, it's a tricky situation because you've got to look at it from two sides. From a business perspective, he's got 2 years left on his contract. I'm sure that Liverpool, at least I hope, that Liverpool will want to renew that contract and keep him at the club for the next 5 years. But at the same time, if the vibes they're getting from Salah or the vibes that Salah's getting from Liverpool don't get resolved fairly quickly, and an offer doesn't get put on the table, because we can only read what's been put in front of us, and what we've been told is that so far there's been no new offer put to Mohamed Salah. So that's what I think has a lot of us worried, because none of us want Salah to leave. I think we're all agreed on that one. The man scores a ridiculous amount of goals for this football club. We've seen a bit of a release of emotion from him over the last week, which has been lovely to see, because, you know, he's usually a pretty cool dude. He's usually pretty reserved and calm and focused, but you see him with the goal against Manchester United. You see him with the celebrations yesterday as well with Alisson after he scored. It means a lot to Mohamed Salah, and he wants to be fighting at the top level, and he wants to be winning trophies, as any player of his calibre would. But I feel, and I'm sure you guys do as well, that he can meet all of those requirements or all of those wants at Liverpool Football Club, and that we should be looking to build around Mohamed Salah. Now, I'm not advocating that we move anybody on, because that's not my decision to make. But if you are going to move on one of the front three, it baffles me that you'd look to move on Mo. It really does. Now, I'm not sure if the club are or aren't, but I'll read out the article. There's an article from L'Equipe that's come via the Mirror, and I'll read out what it says in the article, and you guys can make up your mind for yourself what you think of it. Before I do, Jack said we should put Mane in goal and bring Alisson up to Mane's position. Thank you for the super chat, mate. Ali can play anywhere, he's that good. This is what we have. So it says, while talks are only at a preliminary stage at the moment, there's every chance they'll look to launch a bid depending on what happens in the final few weeks of the season. PSG are sweating on the future of Kylian Mbappe, who will be out of contract in just over a year's time. The French World Cup winner has been locked in negotiations over an extension to his contract, but is yet to put pen to paper. And with the likes of Real Madrid and Liverpool circling, it isn't out of the question that Mbappe will decide to try out a new league after spending the first part of his career in Ligue 1. As a result, the uncertainty over Mbappe's future, PSG officials are starting to draw up contingency plans with Salah reportedly a potential option. PSG are one of the few teams in the world with the financial firepower required to test Liverpool's resolve, with the Reds unlikely to let him go on the cheap. Salah's contract will expire in 2023, and he admitted earlier this month that he's yet to be approached about an extension. And here's the thing, that's what makes it all the more worrying for me. He's got 2 years left. You're not going to want him to run down his contract past the summer. You're not going to want him to go into 18 months to go. Then the power shifts to where Liverpool can command a really high fee, to Liverpool getting maybe 80 to 100 million from when he's probably worth closer to 150, in my humble opinion. I hope it gets resolved. I don't want him to leave. I know you guys don't want him to leave. What frightens me is the whole PSG situation, because I don't know if that's a sporting project that Mohamed Salah would be interested in. I can't answer that question, only Mo can. But we know that they have the pockets, we know that they have the cash reserves, and we know that they have owners who aren't shy about spending ridiculous amounts of sums and paying out very high wages. So it remains to be seen. Maybe he fancies going over there playing in the French league with Neymar and Verratti. I don't know. I hope he doesn't. I hope he wants to stay at Liverpool. And I hope that we're talking in a few weeks' time that Liverpool are sitting down with himself, sitting down with Fabinho, sitting down with Virgil van Dijk, and issuing them all new contracts, because they all deserve them without a shadow of a doubt. But it is still worrying, and while there is that uncertainty, while there is that lack of communication between Liverpool and the player, at least publicly, at least that we know about, you are going to see these stories continue to circle, and Mohamed Salah is going to continue to be linked away for a couple of reasons. One, it's a destabilising tactic, and two, you never know where it's coming from. Is it coming from his agents trying to get Liverpool to start the process? Is it coming from Liverpool's side trying to maybe think, and I hope this isn't the case, that maybe it's the right time now to cash in on Mohamed Salah? Because a couple of important things to remember here. with the likes of Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane and Naby Keita. So you've got Mohamed Salah potentially going to the Olympics in the summer. Then you've got the World Cup coming up in Qatar in 2022. Then you've got, or is that being moved? The World Cup's coming up anyway. That's going to be a mid-season break. Then you've got the AFCON coming up next January as well, which he'll be away for a month, as will Mane. So we have to have replacements, and we have to have players who can get us through that period. So if you add all that stuff together, you can see why some of us are nervous, and you can see why a lot of Liverpool fans are wondering what the hell is going on here with Mohamed Salah, and why aren't we hearing the club putting this stuff to bed straight away and coming out and saying, like PSG are doing with Mbappe, we've every intention to try and get him to sign on. The quietness is what worries us, particularly in a time when we're already have questions about our owners. We don't know what way the transfer window is going to be with regards to funds. We don't know what competition we'll be in, if we are going to be in the Champions League or the Europa League. And there's a lot of big players available this summer. Haaland could be available, Mbappe could be available, Sancho could be available, Kane could be available. The list probably goes on and on and on. So yeah, it's worrying. So what do you guys think? What's your gut feeling on this one? Do you think that the club will resolve it? Or do you think that maybe Mo fancies a little move abroad? I don't know. It remains to be seen. I mean, I can't, from a sporting project, I can't see the appeal of PSG. I just can't. I mean, it's a pretty uncompetitive league, albeit they've still found a way at the moment to not be winning the French league. One game to go, they're behind Lille, who just need to, I think, win their last game, or at least maybe avoid defeat in their last game. They'll be crowned league champions. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems an unnecessary headache at this moment in time for the club and for us and for him probably as well.